Alright. Too easy. I technically don't think I ever did a Wildling video. It's just arguably the most boring character in the game. I also don't think he's good. A lot of people seem to think he's good. I don't really know how that's possible. Upside of 30% lifesteal does not make up. Only with primitive weapons too, which is not a huge downside, but it is when you factor in that lifesteal doesn't really work with, in my opinion, with any... It doesn't make sense with any primitive weapon other than Slingshot. However, it only really makes sense with Slingshot because as you upgrade Slingshot, it gets a ton of bounces, but you can only upgrade them to tier 2. So this is one of those characters where the upgrades and downsides are at odds with one another and they don't cover one another. So I think this is a largely weak character, but certainly not as weak as the miserable characters. But this character does not even remotely feel strong to me, personally. So there's a few ways you can go about it. You can basically just go sticks, because sticks are kind of OP anyway. Same with spears. They're kind of interchangeable there. And basically you're just living with the downside of the tier 2 lockdown, and you're just not really cashing in much on the upside of the 30% lifesteal. Alternatively, you could just go with the slingshots and be severely gimped by only getting them to tier 2, but I will say the lifesteal still is somewhat relevant in that case. But to me, those are the only 3 real options if you're really trying to try hard. To me, it's sticks, spears, and slingshot. Anything else in the middle here is really going to make your run hard. I guess you could technically go Cacti Club, and maybe that kind of cashes in on the lifesteal a little bit, just with the pebbles hitting stuff. But I just don't find that pebbles hit many things. I'm going to go with spear. I think that tier 1 spears are just fine, or tier 2 even, but I think we'll just live with the downsides and try to get it done here. I guess the other upside of stick is that you start with a stick. Like, I'm basically gonna probably just remove this stick. Uh-oh. Alright, at least we got 2 spears. We'll go for $5 reroll here just because... Alright, it was worth it. Alright, 4 spears is fine. It's about all you could hope for. Often you're stuck with only 3. Some really bad cases you get stuck with 2. But yeah, this character, I don't think anyone would complain if they just reworked it entirely to be something actually interesting. I mean, I don't really know what the identity of the character is supposed to be. If the identity of the character is maybe that it needs to use low-tier primitive weapons, I really think that the upside of lifesteal doesn't really make sense. I think they could do something different entirely. Nice, we got 5 spears. It's pretty good. We could do a Terrified Onion. I'm just spitballing here. I've never really given that much thought to what you could do differently with Wildling other than just anything really. But just trying to think of something that would actually synergize with the low tier weapons, like maybe, do we want a gentle alien? I think we could live with it. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, so getting locked to tier 2 weapons. I'm lost in thought right now. I want to give like a good suggestion. Can't just complain about the character and not give a good suggestion. I'm also just thinking of along the lines of a Wildling. I don't know if this is specifically based on Game of Thrones, because to be honest, Wildling is not a word in my normal vocabulary. I only know it from Game of Thrones. I don't know if it's like a word outside of Game of Thrones. I'm guessing it is. Good egg spawns there. And I will say, they could really they could really play into the whole Wildling thing a little bit more. If the idea is that it's like this sort of primitive warrior that can't have high-tech stuff, I would say capping the armor might make sense, but in turn giving it like an increase to a lot of the like natural abilities, because to me armor screams technology kinda. So what you could do is have a cap on armor. Maybe you can only go like above or only up to 10 armor or something, and then your speed and dodge gain like 50% from upgrades. I could see that making sense. And maybe even your attack speed. Now you got a character that starts to feel a little bit more unique. I don't know. And I don't really think I would just do away with the lifesteal. That thing doesn't really make much sense. So I think you can keep it where they can't go above tier 2 on their weapons. Dare I say, extend that to items as well. I know we're really getting into some possible downsides here, though I don't think it's massive downsides. And then make the upsides pretty good then. Like I said, I think if you cap the armor to 10, cap all items and weapons to tier 2, but then make it so dodge, speed, and attack speed all get 50% extra from upgrades, I think those are some pretty big upsides. And at that point, I think that you'd have a character that is a bit more unique and can do some good things. So I guess we just lock this one then, because then we'll have our full set of tier 2s. But I think that would thematically make sense. You're kind of a low-tech hero that has gifted abilities and sort of the primal stats. You can see just how little lifesteal we get from these. It's like, yeah, I eventually get back there, but certainly when you think 30% lifesteal with a build that actually cashes in on lifesteal, we would have been up to full in no time with like guns or something. I mean, I guess that's another way you could play it, even though it's only, well, yeah, the guns, it's only primitive weapons, so you couldn't really use guns. Never mind me. So it's wave 9 coming up. We don't really need percent damage for that. Speed is fine. Could do one more of these. Guess we could lock that. The movement speed allows us to outrun the horde and just... We don't necessarily have a lot of attack speed, so it gives us time for these charges to reset for the attack speed. Alright, it never explodes when I want them to. I'll explode when there's no one around. I'll walk right into the fray. Nothing. 3 plants, whatever. Not a single explosion. You're off the team, spicy sauce. I'm gonna go range. Range translates to extra AoE damage. Alright, we've got enough speed now. Could give a shit about luck or regen. Well, I could add this. I think I will. Ranged shit left and right here. Guess we could add this. We definitely need some more attack speed. We just have not really had the opportunity to add it. That needs to be high on the priority list here. I mean, if it gives me the melee damage, I'm gonna take it though. I'm gonna try to get attack speed if I can. Yeah, just take crit chance. We're gonna have ridiculous amounts of speed, but we really do need some attack speed. But I guess if I can't get attack speed, movement speed can kind of make up for it. On some of the waves, at least. I think wave 14 could be issue, though, without attack speed. I may just have to go with range as well. But yeah, I don't think we've gotten, like, any attack speed increases. I think we had an attack speed decrease, even. Oh, and I'm trying to think with Wildling. We would want to incentivize primitive weapons, though, so I think the attack speed should only work on an... Maybe we'll say this. We'll say attack speed is 50% more effective on primitive weapons. That way you have some incentive to use primitive weapons. Mastery is good. Right, we're guaranteed to have a tier 3 here, so let's really try for attack speed. There we go. Rip and tear. We'll take that. Yeah, I guess we'll take that as well. I don't have any dodge, but I'm just... Eventually I should have it. I could probably start adding it at some point here. Don't know if we should go for a kill here. I'm trying to think. Probably not. Probably not worth it. Now, I do think you should still be able to get tier 4 from killing an elite, probably. In the they just won't show in shops, but I think if you can find it on the ground, sure. And maybe in general you can find higher tier stuff. Oh my god, am I gonna fucking... Oh, I didn't pay attention. Wow, another death to Colossus. I mean, I'm starting to think Colossus is actually the second hardest elite in the game because of that second stage. Well, I wasn't paying attention there enough. I'll just have to retry, I guess. I'll go with, I guess I'll go with Slingshot this time. It seems like Slingshot's probably easier. But it's still not great. I'm going to focus on attack speed if I can. Could lock those in. And I may just buy them. I mean, it's maybe not that important to lock in weapons early with this character, considering that you don't gain much since they are locked to tier 2. Yeah, we'll buy that. Still roll here. There we go. Could maybe have gone with that alien worm, since I'm really relying on life speed or life steal for my sustain. And notice here I actually life steal already at a much better rate. Like if I purposely take some damage here, like you'll see it's really fast to get the life steal back. So probably, I don't know. It's possible slingshot is the way to go with Wildling. I know when I usually beat it, it's usually with slingshot, so... Do I really want spicy sauce? Try to build up a big pool of HP, armor, and dodge, and just go for a defensive victory. But we'll still get some offensive stunts to clear out wave 9 as best we can. Attack speed we definitely want. I might have bought that if I had the money, just because we do have all this life steal. Not gonna take this time, I don't think. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, sharp bullet, big pickup. Man, with a sharp bullet we might be able to do mouse. Now I wish I'd locked that pumpkin, but I don't know. Do get a little bit more lifesteal. I'm gonna take it. I hopefully won't regret this. We lost harvesting too for doing that. It probably wasn't worth it. Hopefully I haven't overestimated myself here. My thought was with more enemies just equals more lifesteal. With hopefully not any super tangible downsides. More lifesteal and more enemies equals a lot more lifesteal. But we'll definitely need to get our HP pool up. It's pretty... oh my god, let's see. Really wish there was a longer invulnerability timer in this game. It's like, the tanks are already the freaking way worst thing in the game, but just give them every advantage possible. I think we can do this. Wave 9 doesn't start out with a bunch of stuff. I take this. Hopefully I don't regret it. Does it really add that much damage though? I only have 5 flat damage. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. It just sucks that we're like not really buying anything. Guess we could do another one of these. Tentacles, fine. This one's a little bit riskier to do the weird ghost on, because there's tanks. I guess they take a little bit to spawn in. Also just less density of enemies, but looks like we're fine. I guess we could just ditch dodge. Seems reasonable. Is this worth it? I mean, I have all these tentacles. I feel like it's not worth it. Easy. They'll just serve as a conduit for my bullets. I probably won't kill him though, because as you can see, we're just doing no damage whatsoever. That's fine. I still might be able to kill him. Yeah, I'm not sure why I ranked Colossus as one of the easier elites in the game. I think just because I randomly was doing okay against him in my data, but this next data set it's not going to be the same. I actually lose to Colossus probably, definitely the second most. I mean, conceptually it shouldn't be hard, but you can't really play perfect all the time, and just one little mistake, one little just sort of rhythm gets off, and then that circle just ravages you. Okay, we weren't even close to killing this guy. I gotta go pick up some stuff. I just don't care about damage at this point. I don't think I'll take that at this. It's probably not worth it to take the risk anymore. This could be pretty devastating. I don't think we should keep taking that. Our range is pretty low, but that theoretically is not an issue. Take the attack speed. This should be good. Alright, bye-bye range again. I don't think I'll take the thing. We got a horde coming up, so maybe I could take the mutation, but I don't think so. Definitely won't be taking Triangle of Power if I see it. We got Recycling Machine. Luckily this fight is not too bad with slingshots. They kind of take care of the problem. But with 15% enemy increase would be my only fear, but I think it'll be fine. Just gotta make sure we're not away from the enemies for too long, so we always want these things firing. And our range is pretty low, so gotta kind of be within melee range to get my shots off. Kill that guy. Oh, 5 crates. Well, I could take that to go positive on dodge, and I guess luck. I guess I'll take it. Hey, this is why we got the recycling fucking thing. Right, that'll be good. This translates to damage now, but I think I need some range. Alright, one more pierce should be good. Silver bullet not needed. We're never gonna kill elites. Like, no way would we ever kill elites. Tardigrade pretty useless. Could take this. Some more range, some more attack speed, but I don't have much armor. I think we'll just live with the fact that that shop kinda sucked. Could have re-rolled one more time, but the re-rolls were so expensive at that point. I think I'm fine letting the eggs spawn here, because that actually gives me a nice conduit for pebbles. Same tentacles will be good for that too. We really need a pumpkin. We're not doing actually much damage at all on the pierce. It's like 2 damage. It's so incredibly low. I don't know why it's that low. I guess it must be a 90% decrease. So actually the piercing hasn't probably helped us at all on this run. Maybe with the beard I lose even more range, but... And it just doesn't do much damage. I actually don't think I'll take it. I'm gonna roll one more time here. We're trying to find... I think pumpkin could go a long way. But, yeah, these ain't it. I'm probably fine. If I could get through those without the pumpkin, then that should be fine. It's only gonna give me 2 waves, so it's going to be 262 for 6 max HP, 2 HP regen, and 2 lifesteal. It's probably not worth it. Alright, those are all good. Ooh. This could be a tricky one. Probably good that we have the tooth in this fight. Did that guy really get the red buff? The freaking loot order? Jesus, what the fucking hell? We earned like no fucking money there. Man, I am just forever regretting not taking that stupid pumpkin. I probably should have just bought the pumpkin, even though it was out of order. It probably was speculatively worth 70 bucks or whatever it was. So I would be in such a better spot right now had I had it. And even if I miss on getting any of the piercing stuff, it's just a 70 buck speculation. It's not the end of the game. Whereas here, I've spent a lot more money on the piercing stuff than I ever would have spent on that pumpkin, but it's kind of like without the pumpkin, piercing's basically useless on these weapons where it's like already kind of gimped on the pierce, and just gimped on the overall damage it does anyway. Okay, we need to take a white flag if I see it, or an elemental candle, because I 2 rounds in a row I haven't been able to pick anything up. I don't even think I can reroll here. Okay, I just need to actually buy stuff. Alright, this could work. Could work as well. Really just trying to survive at this point. Try to pick up as much money as I can this round. You can kind of see why, though, I ranked Wildling as D tier, and I stick with that ranking, I think. I think I've seen nothing to make it go up or down. It's just, you never feel that strong. It doesn't feel like it's impossible, or it doesn't feel completely miserable, but it never feels great. And it doesn't even feel good. It doesn't even feel okay. It just feels kind of shitty. There's just not really any strength to this character. I would gladly give up the lifesteal to just be able to bounce a million more times. Oh yeah, trajectory, sure. We don't need damage. Some dodge would do. Luckily we got a lot of money to work with here. Some range would be fine. And that's probably just going to end up being it. Yeah. Let's do it. Obviously, we're not even gonna tickle these bosses, but we'll just make sure we maintain some health. 119 is not as good as buffer as I would have hoped, but we have so much dodge, along with adrenaline, along with the lifesteal. I think we're hopefully gonna be pretty sustainable here. I'm going the opposite direction of the fire stick because I feel it's actually easier to dodge it, even though I have to dodge it more times. I found like going with the stick is harder. I don't know though. Maybe we can go with the stick. Maybe it makes more sense. But yeah. We have a bad amount of speed here for this circle, it seems. Fuck. I'm gonna check what that speed is. 32, so apparently 32 is not a good breakpoint to be at for the final fight. These are things I need to remember. You'd rather be in the 20 range or like 40 range, it would seem. Because I just want to be able to run without stopping, and if at that amount of speed I run, if I'm continuously running, it looks like I run right into the circle. So, but yeah, it's a win. I think Slingshot definitely is the way to go. I mean, I don't think I've ever beaten Wildling without Slingshot when I think about it. Like, maybe I beat it with Stick once. So definitely go Slingshot. That seems to be confirmed. It's definitely beatable. I mean, that spear run could have won, but I think if I had done Slingshots instead, I would have been able to sustain out of the mistakes I made. Clearly, the Slingshots do not kill as much stuff, but their amount of sustain is still just leagues better than the melee weapons, which goes back again to the fact that this character doesn't make sense. It's like, you got one out of all possible weapons that actually benefits from the lifesteal. Might as well just start him with a slingshot and only allow a slingshot. But yeah, that was a run. 14 recovered in adrenaline. It's not too bad. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I must have been at full health then. I was like, how did I get 14 when it's doing 5s? 189 saved on a coupon that I earned on like really early. That's a very bad amount. That shows how bad the shops were, to be honest. Like, I was rolling quite a lot trying to look for items. We really weren't able to buy much, and that was with 15% increased enemies, so I theoretically should have had, you know, extra money than usual. And the recycling machine got 240. Without any reds, that's a pretty good amount. These things just don't do much damage, though. We went the full round, and they weren't even doing, a lot of them weren't even doing 10k. It kind of puts it in perspective. Like, you really are gimped on damage. 247 healed there. Still feel like this thing doesn't actually track the healing correctly. I don't really think that I healed 247 out of those. Well, that was a run. Still say it's D tier. Apparently the music's gone now. Awkward silence. Well, anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.